Yes, people, welcome again
You
to
were
another episode of the Gymrat Pack Does Entertainment with me, LarryOlubamiwo, and
Spoiler! Damien, actually,
and
L Rock.
actors and gym rats here, looking to give you our perspective on everything entertainment, especially movie and TV. And boy, as you saw yesterday, we went opening night to watch Spider-Man
No Way Home.
Yes, we did.
and we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Didn't want to go home.
I could have easily watched that straight away again.
Yep.
Straight away.
Straight away again.
Easily.
It is getting so much good praise, and I understand the praise. For me, I was even saying it to the boys yesterday, and I'm reiterating it now. Now thinking back on the film, it is probably the best Spider-Man film for me.
Yeah.
Thinking back.
When I looked at it again, like, not watching the movie again, but when I thought about it again when I got home, I was like,
When
you
you
know what?
reflected
When
at
I
home.
reflected at home,
Yeah.
by myself in the dark room, looking at faces of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, crying. I generally, I would agree with that sentiment. It's definitely the best of the nine. Wait.
Well, including
8.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
They
Spider-Man.
do call it
Spider-Verse,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Which, so, should we get down to it?
Let's get down to it. So hear the cry now. We got there. Larry bought the tickets for the next day. What a donut.
2 minutes before the film was about to start, we're like this. We walked into the screen,
Yeah.
and the film was 15 minutes in. And we're like, hold on a second, this ain't the right film. We walked out, going to the guy at the ticket stand. Hold up, the film started, we're here.
Yeah,
Don't
this
be playing
is
the
wrong.
movie yet. What are you doing?
In my defense, and these two can vouch for what my defense is going to be, I've barely had any sleep. I've got a 7-month-old son.
All right.
2 hours sleep.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah.
But then we did get in there.
Because, shout out to the ticket hostess at View in Cineworld in Romford.
No, it was you.
Oh, View in Romford. See, I wasn't even awake enough.
Yeah,
He
shout out to
kindly
her.
gave us some tickets for the screening 5 minutes later. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And the place was full.
Yeah, we had to sit in the front door and
Like
break
this.
our necks. But it's all good. It was worthwhile.
Car crash
It was
next to the next
worthwhile.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how to begin this.
Right.
So this is a spoiler, by the way. We've
We
already...
said spoiler.
Okay, cool.
I've told you.
Now, should we...
How did you go in there? What was your expectation going in there?
I expected a very good film.
Right.
I listen, it's been... we all know we've been covering this film for how long?
Yeah.
We knew that the hype train was crazy.
Yep.
So I was expecting everything and then some.
Yeah.
And if it gave me anything slightly less than that, I would have been disappointed.
Right.
And it delivered.
And it delivered.
It delivered. As far as I'm concerned, it delivered.
Yeah.
Right.
Delivered.
Yeah.
Even had a little things that on reflection, I'm going to discuss with you guys. I actually want to discuss with you before, but as Leon would always say, leave it for the camera.
Leave it for the camera. That's it.
So,
I want real. Yeah, we do real.
Yeah.
There's many things we want to talk about and we don't. We look at each other and we're like, no.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So how should we start? Should we go through the whole story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do
Or
that,
should we
Damien?
hit the people with spoilers first? You guys want to know the meaty and gritty straight
Okay,
away?
let's do that.
Let's get
and
the cat out of the bag.
All right, let's
Okay.
get the cat out of the bag.
Okay, cat out the bag time. Who is in this film?
Characters.
So, Tom Hardy's in it. But that's
Yes.
not the biggest reveal.
Tom Hardy was in a post credit scene.
Post credit.
talking to Venom.
Yeah, so just make sure you sit
yeah.
down and watch it.
And I'm gonna go heavy into that scene later
All right,
because I think
we'll
there's
get that at
more
the end then.
implications.
We'll get that at the
than
end.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Right.
definitely,
We know who you
definitely.
want to hear about.
Yeah.
We know you want to hear about. And yes, they are in it.
Yes.
And it's not just an appearance. It's pivotal moment
Oh.
of the film.
They were in most of the film.
Most of
Like the entire half the second
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
third act.
Yeah,
the third act.
yeah, which is Tobey Maguire and that lion-ass mother... I'm joking.
You know what?
He needed to do it. Andrew Garfield.
Props to Garfield for the last
Bro,
2 months.
I can't believe because how many times did John Caprio quote his interview saying, I'm not in it.
I am not in it. Categorically
I'd love to
no.
be in the film, but I'm not in it, blah, blah, blah. And then these big faces
Yeah.
And not only is it, he's the first one to appear even before
Yeah,
Maguire.
even before
We were
Maguire.
sitting there going, is it Maguire? Is it Garfield? No, it's Garfield. No, it's Maguire. No, and it was Garfield.
Yeah,
He came
it's
out.
Garfield.
Oh, but do you know what?
But for me, it was nice to see Toby.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
Like it was just nice to see
It was.
Toby, like
It was.
the original.
It was.
And I was just, it's like nostalgic.
Yeah.
And
When,
yeah.
the way he walked in, just in his clothes,
Yep.
and he
Yeah.
was just like cool.
But you see, do you remember when we had that conversation about why I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man Peter Parker out of the lot of them? And I said he combines the nerdiness
Yeah,
Yep.
of Tobey Maguire's Peter
Yes.
Parker
Yeah.
with the mouthiness sort
cheekiness,
of Andrew Garfield's
Garfield,
one.
yeah.
And you saw that as they came in.
and then
Yeah.
brings a little bit of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as they all both came in, so when as Andrew Garfield came in, you could see the little cheekiness. It's like,
Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
should be enough. He's sticking
Yeah.
to the wall.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Like,
And Toby
really,
turns up stoically, but also
Yeah,
like, kind
all
of like
dressed
withdrawn,
like-
dressed down. Like, what was it?
well,
What was it
you
called?
faster.
Yeah,
You
you
faster.
faster.
Brilliant line.
Yeah,
Liam was in stitches.
yeah.
And it takes a lot to make this man laugh.
It does.
trust me.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just came in. They just came in like G's. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It
It
was
was
fan.
good.
And then watching all three of them working together and swinging around and
They
man,
become
listen.
like three brothers.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were.
yeah,
They
yeah,
were.
yeah,
Three
yeah,
brothers.
yeah,
They
yeah.
were.
It was beautiful.
It was like for me a live action version of Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Without Miles Morales, who actually gets a little bit of a sort of mention.
Doesn't get what I wanted him to get.
he
but
wanted to see it.
Jamie
Miles-
Foxx throws it out there, so you know.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a black Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
it's there. They're thinking about it.
Oh, he's definitely going to show up
At some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at some point. He definitely.
And you know what you're playing? Now I agree with what you should do.
What's
With
that?
the guy you've been talking about for the last few episodes.
Who?
Anton.
Yeah.
No,
Ashton.
Ashton.
Oh, should play. Do you know what? That's a
Good shot. Ashton Saunders.
Ashton
Hashtag
Saunders.
That's a good shot.
Ashton
That's a good
Saunders
shot.
for
Ashton Saunders.
Spider-Man. Black Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Originally it was
100%.
Donald Glover, wasn't it? They were talking about him doing it a while ago.
No.
That wouldn't work. No, but no, it wouldn't have been him actually because he played the guy's uncle.
But originally they talked about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay,
talked
that's
about. It was
fine.
thrown around.
Ashton, if you're listening, just
Yeah, man.
come on
yeah,
the show.
man.
We'll talk about it.
Exactly. We're always
You know what I
hailing
mean?
you up
Yeah.
anyway. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, as we said, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this film prominently.
Yeah.
Prominently.
right.
Someone even more so I got really excited about.
Okay.
Daredevil was in the movie. As the lawyer.
Oh,
Matthew shows up. Matt Murdock shows
Matt
up.
Murdock.
Charlie Cox made the appearance.
Yeah.
And he made
Matt-
a beautiful appearance.
yeah. And he even showed a little bit of his powers when he caught a brick that came through the window.
From
You
behind,
know?
not even looking. Was
You know what I mean? And I was just like, rah. Because in the comics, they actually say his radar sense is actually
spiders.
stronger than the
Spider-Man's,
Spider-Man's.
yeah.
Yeah, the Spider-Man spider sense. So that made sense. That made that.
Daredevil
made
does
sense.
a whole different kind of tingle, mate.
So that was fantastic to see. I really.
Nice entry point.
Yeah. And it's going to tie into something we're going to talk about in the Hawkeye
Yes, it is.
review.
Yeah.
It's episode 5. But yeah, it was. I mean, what did you think? Because I know you're a big fan of the Daredevil show on Netflix. What did you think about him showing up?
No, I just think it's exciting. I
Yeah,
just think the possibilities of where it can go now with him involved is just beyond. Because I just like seeing them all meet up and
you're
and
like me,
interleave.
man. I love
Like,
it. I love
yeah.
it. I love it.
Do you know what I mean?
I love it. Who else are we? Oh,
Right, so villains.
villain. So basically, they kind of outlined. There were no surprises.
No
there.
surprises.
Yeah.
No,
So
we knew it was coming.
yeah, we had Willem Dafoe who killed it
William Dafoe was
Killed it.
Out the
amazing.
park.
as Green Goblin. How many years ago did he play Green
I don't
Goblin?
know.
And he hasn't missed a step.
Oh.
William
20 years?
Dafoe is 152 years old and he plays it like he's 22.
Yeah.
He hasn't missed
Amazing.
a step.
Yeah.
It's like he's been playing it in his house, hoping to get on this film for the
Again,
last
yeah,
20 years.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Which just shows how much of a great actor he is.
100%.
Because when you see him in his interview, he's a meek and mild gentleman.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Like, just so meek and mild.
For real.
2001, so 20 years.
20
years ago.
20 years.
Doesn't look any different from the movie.
He really doesn't actually, does he?
When I was just a boy. I was just a young boy.
He killed it. As soon as you heard that goblin laugh.
The laugh.
And the face contorts when he does the laugh.
Yeah, that's why I never liked Mask, because he can do that.
Yeah,
Like, there's a moment in this film
And
spoiler.
that's why the mask, I know that's why they took it off.
Yeah, because
they're wasting so much on his face. They're wasting it.
Big time.
Why put a
never
mask on
needed
something that captures everything you're actually looking for?
Well, that's I think it's symbolic because he broke the mask very early on in the film.
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying.
probably
Yeah.
They knew
exactly.
that. They knew that.
Yeah.
I think the thing's always been, because it would have been cheesy to have his face green, because in the comic books, Green doesn't wear a mask. His face is green. They probably thought it's going to look cheesy. They made the mask, but then seeing what he can do, you don't need the green face. He puts the hood up. He has a darkness over his face. That's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you
He's
need, man.
brilliant.
With all because he has a drawn look as well.
Yes.
He's so drawn in his face that the cheekbones
are pronounced.
His teeth are a bit scatty like mine. You know what I mean? Like gappy. So it just gives that quality.
He was apart from the 3 Spider-Men. He was the best thing in that film.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was the best thing in that film. Honestly.
Definitely.
And I saying a lot because there was a lot of good things in that film.
I can't think of a weak performance.
No, I don't think there was.
I think there was one I questioned a bit, and that was Jamie Foxx's character.
Yeah.
That's the only one I wasn't 100%.
Do you know what I think that? And I get
it was too groomed. Remember I said that?
Yeah. And
he looked too good
compared to the character
scruff
in
bag.
the other one. Yeah.
The scruff bag.
They gave him a makeover, and it was just like.
But I think that was more to do with the look than his acting. But I get what you're saying, because where I saw it was, even though his acting was good, he's acting against, as we just pointed out, William Dafoe, who has not skipped a beat. No. Also, Alfred Molina, who fucking killed it. So if you're doing your thing, which is good, but you're up against these two heavyweights, you ain't looking so good then.
And the Spider guys were doing great.
They killed it.
They killed it.
I can't fault any of their performances.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's even, what's the boy's name? His best friend?
Ned. I forget his real name. And Zendaya. The girlfriend.
They were brilliant.
They killed it.
Brilliant. Absolutely. So anything less than great. Meaning good. Meaning very good. Meaning very, 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 very good. Just wasn't good enough. One of those.
It was one of them.
Yeah, it was one of those. But I think you're right. The look took away from the journey we went on with Jamie Foxx originally, because he was like a bit nerdy, a bit geeky. His hair was all gone. He had nothing really going for him, and that made him somebody. But he looked like,
and even the way he looked in the other one, even after he transformed fully, he was kind of like this bluish thing.
In this one, he looked like the set of Miami Vice with Tom Cruise.
He's at the best shape up of his life. Had a quick spray. A few fibers in there, like he was.
You see him straight away, topless, shirtless. He's like,
he's like, look at me, I'm getting a bit big because I know Tyson's coming.
Exactly.
Because he did get a bit thick.
He was a lot bigger than
he was a lot thicker than I've seen
he
him.
normally is. 100%. 100%.
That was good.
So I will definitely echo what you said. About Jamie Foxx.
Not a poor performance,
but when you're stacking them up against these heavyweights,
there has to be someone that falls off the tail end.
Someone. Could have been me, but it was him.
So we had a debate. Well, not a debate, but Damien thought that Rhys Ifans, who plays Lizard, wasn't actually in the film. He's in the IMDB credits, so he's actually in the film. It was actually him.
Right, so Lizard was there. Sandman, he was in there.
His appearance for a long time, I thought they're not going to actually show his face. Probably couldn't afford it or whatnot because of the amount of cast they've got. You only hear his voice for a majority of the film. Then right at the end, he appears.
So obviously you got Doc Ock, Alfred Molina, played a blinder.
Killed it.
Especially when he came in the beginning, and it was mashing up the cars and you know what I mean. And it was having that conversation with him just before they were about to start fighting. I just thought again, he ain't missed a step either.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
Not a beat.
Marissa Tomei was fantastic in this movie. She has
Who?
Marissa Tomei, who plays Aunt May.
She has the emotional arc of this movie in the second act, and it's for me personally, you know, if you guys for the second can talk about this, but I thought she has the strongest emotional beat throughout the Marvel universe. The way that she went.
No,
I know you probably say no.
I don't know about whole Marvel universe, but it was strong, 100%.
she had it
strong.
in her pocket.
Yeah.
She had it, clearly
strong.
had it. But Tom reacted off her
Yeah.
beautifully.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that
Yeah.
because obviously you're on this side.
Yeah.
As he was doing that,
Yeah.
what did I say to you, Damien?
What do you mean?
When Tom was crying and emoting, what did I say to you?
I forgot. I'm not gonna lie.
I did say that was a fantastic performance.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
emotional.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you.
Yeah.
That's how you know this man knows he's acting.
I know.
Wait.
I know.
You think I'm saying Marissa Tomei the biggest? No, performance-wise. But in
No,
terms of her
I'm not
depth-
saying. No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm not
okay.
saying.
Yeah.
He used her.
Yeah.
He
used
That's
her.
how good she was.
That's how
Yeah.
good that saying what she.
Yeah.
I believed she was dying. I
100%.
believed everything that was
100%.
happening.
The only thing, and me and you both said it
Yeah.
after it happened, was because Marissa Tomei dies because the glider hits her full on.
Whacks the life out of her.
Now, listen, even big guys like us would be dead in an instant. There's no talking for 5 minutes. And I understand what Damien's trying to say at the time, shock and stuff. But bro, come on, man.
I said this to the announcements in the car.
If you ever
It's
get
not-
run
it's not
over
the
by a
shock.
car,
It's not the shock, but you've seen in movies before where like a hero gets shot up, but there's a family element. He's trying to get them to make it to the end of it.
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
literally will walk through fire. They walk
Yeah,
through everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like she wants to make sure he's okay.
yeah.
Her whole focus
Yeah,
is Peter.
I get it.
And when she gets up,
Yeah, go on.
her body's gone.
Yeah.
She contorts herself in a way that you know she's dead. Like the moment she stood up, like she's dead. She's just taking her time to die.
Yeah.
The
And
moment she
I
stood
give
up,
it,
I thought she's dying.
I'll give it. It's
It's
due.
the adrenaline factor
It's a superhero movie.
It's a bit of- yeah,
So it's-
yeah. Yeah.
I would say
yeah.
that was the direction she was given.
Yeah.
And she,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it could have been done any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, realistically, you
Oh,
get
yeah.
hit by Green Goblin's glider,
Yeah.
you're gonna be screaming until you're dead because the pain is gonna. But what she did and how she was obviously told to play this,
Yeah.
perfect.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I
That
bought
makes sense.
it.
Yeah.
I bought it.
No, and that's the main thing.
Yeah,
It's not like I didn't buy it.
Yeah, I bought it.
I
She
bought
sold
I
it. I bought it.
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
So I think that was a
100%.
good catalyst.
Yeah.
I was actually. That's one thing that slightly surprised me actually because I wasn't prepared for her to die in it. I thought Mary Jane would die in this.
No, I didn't think we would do that because
No?
they purposely showed it in the trailer to make you think she was. I knew they weren't going to do it. I knew they weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
Misdirection.
Yeah, oh man, Marvel are famous for that, innit?
Yeah.
Speaking about that scene, actually, and the performance that Holland gives when Aunt May dies, the other Spider-Men, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, both give emotional beats beautifully in this film because
Yes.
that scene with Mary Jane. So another bit spoiler a bit. Mary Jane. Well, it's not Mary Jane. This one is it? It's,
Well, she's MJ.
MJ.
Yeah. She's
when,
not Mary
before
Jane.
MJ is about to die, so Tom Holland goes diving off of the Statue of Liberty to try and save her. Green Goblin comes in, takes him out, and then Andrew Garfield Spider-Man dives down and saves her just before she hits the floor.
Yeah,
and
which
then
harkens back to
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he has this beautiful moment where she looks up at him and he's like, "You okay?" She's like, "Yeah," and then she's like, "You okay?" Because he's obviously thinking about what he couldn't have done to save his life. And he carries it so well. Yeah.
So without saying anything, like.
And then Toby does it later on.
Yep, Toby does it later on.
Toby does it later on.
Yeah,
All three of them went there emotionally.
Yeah.
This was a very much an emotional roller coaster.
But I like what you said when we came out of the film that it was emotion. It had emotional beats to it.
It didn't frighten your face.
Right. It wasn't too much.
It wasn't too much.
Yeah, and you're right.
It just showed the stakes. It showed the journey. It showed what are you fighting for?
Yeah.
Like Tom Holland, especially.
Yeah.
Like, you just killed my Aunt May. Like, this is Aunt May.
Which showed in the end fight with Green Goblin when he
the
smashed
visceral
up.
side of him comes out.
Oh, he was punishing.
He was angry.
Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin.
was angry.
He was, and listen, as human beings, we could relate. Someone kills your aunt, like You're not messing around. You're gonna...
His aunt is his mum, dad.
Literally,
His whole world. Who's he got?
No one. He's got no one.
He's got no one. Just MJ.
Yeah.
He hasn't even...
But I'm just saying, at that point, that's all he's got.
Yeah.
And then they're not blood.
Yeah, they're not blood. So, bro, he went to town.
That's why, like, when the police turn up, he has this look when he's looking over his mum. He looks up at the police, like he's like, "Get out of my fucking way! I'm gonna kill all of you." And I love that moment. He doesn't have to say anything. The look on Tom Holland's face is, "I don't care if you point a gun at me right now. I'm gonna take all of you out."
And it's only when he got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah,
he was like, "Okay,
I'm working up now."
Whoa, I'm out of here.
It didn't feel like how I thought it felt. You know what I mean? But yeah, that scene for me when he was brocking up
the Green Goblin.
And then as Damien quite rightly pointed out, as he was about to kill him with the glider, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man comes and stops him. And that look, they didn't even say nothing. He was just looking at each other.
I thought he was going to say, at least say no. He doesn't even say that. It's just the look carries everything.
The look
said 1,000 words. It said 1,000 words.
Right. And that's what we were all taught. That's what acting is. It's not speaking. It's just
what you don't say.
Right.
It's what you don't say.
And that's why when Green Goblin then stabs Tobey Maguire, that's why, because I ain't gonna lie, I was swearing a lot in the thing. And Leon was like, "Come on, man, what you?"
Stop swearing.
Because there were kids about it, so I get it, of course. But when he stabs him, I was like, "Oh." Because it hit me because you weren't expecting that. You were caught up in that moment between Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire, and all of a sudden you
right in.
But that's what Defoe does from the moment that the Goblin takes over him. He has all of the highlights in terms of the twists.
He does.
100%.
And the way he came out of the Green Goblin, within 60 seconds. You saw it. In his face, in his demeanor. Oh, what have I done? It was just his face looked different. He felt different. He sounded different. And you were just like, oh. Okay, you really does this. You really does this. So like I said, big Willie D. Willie D.
But going back to what you touched on with Jamie Foxx's character, that's the issue I had with the weaker element. I thought was also with the writing of his character, because when they're all together in the apartment and he's like, "I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna change your lives. You can go back to your universes, and I'm gonna cure you all of it." Like, Jamie Foxx is kind of on the fence about it, but he's still kind of going through with it reluctantly. He's going through with it. The Fall, obviously, Osborn's gonna be changed by a Goblin, so he wants to go for it generally, but Goblin's always gonna come for it. Dr. Octopus is in the middle because at the time, obviously, he's not cured from the paralysis. He's got his spine.
That's right.
And the moment that happens, he changes. And you always knew his character was good anyway. It was just the dementia, or dementia, you call it that, but the mindset and everything else, his wife, all that kind of stuff. And then Sandman, really, he's generally there to help Spider-Man, but he just gets frustrated. And then the Lizard, again, psychological thing. But Fox's character was just like, he's sitting there going, I'll go through with it. And it's like, no, I want the power. They didn't give him enough of an arc where he changes from like, I'm going to go back to my university. It felt weak. And that I felt was more the writing than what he was doing.
I see where you're coming from. I mean, it did kind of chime in with his character from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, because that's what he wanted then as well. He wanted power because he wanted to be recognised because he was a nobody, basically. But I get your point, because with
in theory, he wouldn't want to go back.
He wouldn't want to go back, and he didn't want to go back. But I get what Damien's saying, because when you saw Alfred Molina's character, he had a little arc, because he acknowledged that he messed up. And because remember when he had the arc reactor, he goes, "Oh, the power of the sun in my hand," and he was playing it. If I was to, do you know what I mean, go evil again, and he didn't. Do you know what I mean? But even so he's obviously gone through some stuff. Obviously, Goblin had to go through some stuff. You know why Sandman, even though I thought he was slightly underused, but you knew he just wanted to see his daughter. Like that and we can all relate to that. Like, he just wanted to see his daughter. So I get that bit. I can see where you're coming from with the Jamie Foxx bit.
It just kind of felt a bit loose.
Yeah, they could. But I would also say they could have done slightly more with the Happy character.
Yeah, but then again,
I think so.
Yeah. But then again, I think, like, because it's 2.5 hours long. Is it like that?
Yeah.
There's so much. If unless someone
there's so much.
I'm nitpicking now.
Yeah.
I'm nitpicking
because it is like Spider-Man Endgame.
Yeah.
Like when
yeah.
you look at
yeah.
it for,
yeah.
for a Marvel film,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
literally, there's so much in it.
Yeah.
That it's like someone at some point is not going to get the forefront they need to get.
And just to reiterate how important that is, we haven't even spoke about one of the main characters yet.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, so Cumberbatch also does his thing.
Dominic Cumberbatch.
Yep.
Salute.
You mean Benedict?
Benedict. What did I say?
Dominic Cumberbatch. That's your son's name in a few years' time when he's born.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Condodotch.
Yeah.
Cumberbatch.
He played a blinder. He played a blinder.
Yeah.
That in fact for me, that's the best I've seen him play Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And that has made me want to see the Doctor Strange
Too.
even more. I did want to see it.
Even
from the trailer. But I want to see it. I want to see where this character's going and what's happening.
But what I liked as well is they redeemed the weak point of the trailer because it was
Yes,
good misdirection.
yes.
But it's not misdirection in the sense that it's like a change to the plot. But they have this bit in the trailer where Cumberbatch turns around and goes like, "Please, Scooby-Doo is crap."
Yeah, and we
And
did.
in the
If you
movie-
see our review of the trailer, you'll see that we criticised that.
That's a bit dry.
So.
But they cut it together differently in the movie. He does swear and it does pull off. It has a completely
Much
different vibe to
better.
it.
Much better.
And you can tell why they did it.
Yeah, it was just like a PG trailer.
Yeah. Super
But
PG.
you forget, they literally film bits like that for the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to have that in the film. We're filming that for the trailer.
Yeah. So that but we know Marvel has form for this. So I would suggest to people in future, when they see Marvel trailers, do not expect what you see to be in the movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As we said in the last episode on this one, when Larry pointed out the Brazilian trailer, Spider-Man does kick Liz in the face, and it is Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man that does it. So they digitally did remove him.
They did, man. Do you know how much money that must cost?
Just to take him out,
to remove both Spider-Men because they were both in there. Just to purposely misdirect people. It's crazy what they're doing. I remember they did that in is it Endgame when they digitally put Hulk in there?
Yeah.
And he wasn't even in there. In the real thing. He wasn't even in there.
Speaking of Hulk, I've got to touch on you for this because you're the comic book head out of three of us. Now, in is it Endgame or is it Infinity War? Hulk gets knocked out of his body by Tilda Swinton's version of
the
I can't remember the name of the clan, but the Sorceress.
Sorcerer Supreme, that's
Sorcerer
it.
Supreme.
Yeah.
And he can't get back into his body. Knowing how strong Hulk is, knowing how intelligent Banner is, he can't get back into his body. What is Spider-Man's level at the end point of his career, if you like? Because he managed to overcome that and get back into his body.
So you know the spell had already been cast by then. So I think it had something to do with the spell.
Right, okay.
Because remember even Doctor Strange was like, when he was trying to get it, when he cast him out of his body and he was trying to get it and the body was moving still. And he was like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So for those that haven't seen it yet, there's a bit in the trailer where you see Strange basically do his palm hit to Tom Holland. Been confused with Spider-Man's now. Tom Holland. And he had the out-of-body experience where his spirit leaves him just like Banner left it in Avengers.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man all of a sudden starts still controlling. He's like, his body is not doing what Strange wants him to do.
Yeah, because he wants to just take the box straight from Spider-Man. And he can't do it because Spider-Man's dodging him. And then Doctor Strange is like, you shouldn't be able to do this.
Here,
Right. And then in the meantime, Tom Holland is like swimming in air, trying to get back into his body. You know, remember? And then he does get back into his body. So I take your point with that, but I think it had something to do with the spell. It's the only way to explain it, because the comics don't explain that. So it'll be the only way to explain that. But yeah, Doctor Strange. So obviously, because when we saw the movie, they had a trailer for Doctor Strange 2 afterwards, which starts off on the aftermath of what's happened. So I thought that was really cool.
Nice,
really nice. And as Leon said, we were all looking forward to watching Doctor Strange. But that's made us even more excited.
Cherry on the top, baby.
100%. I remember they did say Wanda was going to be a big part of it, and you saw her in the trailer as well. But it's obviously there's repercussions for messing with the multiverse. So that's what we're going to see in Doctor Strange 2. And I suspect...
Loki's going to fall in there.
Probably.
Yeah.
But a lot of characters that they're going to look to bring in the future. like I suspect, like the Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
like X-Men. I think that's how they're gonna bring them in.
You really think so?
I think so.
Universes and bring him in.
I think so.
Okay.
Because someone made, well, a lot of people have made good points in that with everything that's gone on over the course of and you know they always refer, like even we've watched Hawkeye, the latest episode of Hawkeye where they refer to the blip. They always refer to past things that's gone on in the MCU. So someone said, how can all of this have been taking place, but mutants are not showing themselves? We're talking about a long period of time. So it won't make sense. Unless, if all of a sudden they just turn up. So it's got to be something like that that brings them in.
There's a heavy media presence throughout this, like kind of interwoven throughout the X-Men universe. It's always, they're always having these political discussions. Xavier's always at the head of a board talking to political entities, and it's like, to not have them there, they would have at least been mentioned in the background somewhere. A throwaway line of, well, like, doesn't happen to the mutants.
That's what I'm saying. And I think, because someone did say that's a possible way to bring them in. I can't remember who it was, but I think that's going to be very likely in the next Doctor Strange. And I think a big clue to that was, do you remember when the Spider-Men were meeting each other for the first time and they were talking? So there was a bit where Tom Holland said, "Oh, I'm part of the Avengers. This is Avenger level." And they're like, "Avengers? What's that?" So do you see what I'm saying? Like, so there's
you're in a band.
You're in a band. So there's things that's in some universes that are not in others. So then that's how they can say, well, the X-Men are in this universe, but they're not in that universe. But then it can come through to this universe through whatever is going to happen in Doctor Strange.
Is there not a point? I might be wrong on this one, but is there not a point in one of the Avengers movies where they mention Scarlet Witch's father? Because obviously that's Magneto.
Yeah.
So is there not a point in one of the Avengers where he's mentioned?
I'm trying to think.
Because the thing is, if they have, they're going to have to change her whole arc of where she originated from, if it's going to come from a different universe. Because obviously Magneto is, we're going on a bit of a...
No, they didn't
mention it.
So they've been very clever.
Yeah.
Listen, Feige's a genius, man. I don't... They never met, so they could literally do that. And I think it's funny how, we've all watched WandaVision, how they brought in Quicksilver from the X-Men universe into that one. Oh, you have? Oh, so we just spoiled it.
That's cool, don't worry, I'm fine.
We spoiled it.
Okay.
Back
to the film. Let's get back to more spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. So what else? What else happened?
So what? You might as well explain the whole arc of the film.
You can do this one, bro. You go for it. You do it.
Okay. Let me try to be succinct as possible.
No waffle.
You go for it.
No filler.
Right. So this film takes place right off the back of the last one, where Mysterio has said that Spider-Man is Peter Parker and he tried to kill him, and he's the one that released the drones and blah 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 blah. So this is why Charlie Cox then comes in, as we all speculated, being Peter Parker's lawyer.
Because the whole world is against Peter
exactly.
Parker.
Well, half art. So he walks into his high school, and some of his teachers are like, "Oh, Peter, like please take a look at what we've made for you, this shrine kind of
and
thing."
The gym coach is like, "I don't trust it."
Yeah. The gym coach is like,
we
know what you did. Like he's on Mysterio's side, obviously, and it's like that all the way through. And so obviously, like he can't live his life, and he's afraid for his loved ones, his aunt, his Mj, Ned. So he goes to Doctor Strange and asks him to make everyone forget that he was Spider-Man. So Doctor Strange says, yeah, of course. Wong was against it, but he was leaving. I thought that was very smart, by the way, how they said that now because of the blip. Wong was the Sorcerer Supreme, which makes the scene in Shang-Chi make
even
more sense.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I love how they anyway. Yeah. So, as Doctor Strange is casting this spell, Peter said, "Oh, but I don't want this one to forget. I don't want this one to forget." And he's saying, "Shut up, I'm doing the spell."
Yeah.
But as he's speaking, that's what he's saying is actually affecting the spell. So the spell's cast, and it's gone haywire. And Doctor Strange, it seems, has managed to contain it in this little container. But it seems like there's been an effect already. And so there's a scene where Tom Holland is trying to find the MIT recruiter who's on her way to the airport. And because he's trying to convince her to get him and Ned and Zendaya into MIT. And as he's doing that, Doc Ock shows up, obviously from another universe.
Yeah.
So they have a fight. He realizes he's not his Peter Parker. And then they go back to Doctor Strange, who then informs him that there's loads of these people from different universes, and he needs to go and get them and contain them so they can send them back. So that's happening. So that's when you see all the different villains. You know who they are anyway. And then as he's collecting them, he meets William Dafoe's character, Green Goblin, who then goes to see Aunt May, and Aunt May is convincing him to help him instead of sending him back, which is a big mistake. So because of that, Peter gets into him, that Tom Holland anyway, that he needs to help these people and not send them back because some of them are going to die at the hands of Spider-Man and whatnot.
As MJ says to him, like, she's a great line. She says, Doctor Strange says to him that they have to go back. That there's bigger things that happen because they die. And she says, but that's not who he is.
Yeah,
and that's the point of who Spider-Man is. That's not who he is.
And that's true. So, so that happens. Then Spider-Man is to cut a long story short, him and Strange kind of fall out because Strange wants him to send them. So Strange gets trapped in a mirror dimension for a while.
Yeah.
But they manage to steal his ring that opens up portals. Ned has that.
And is able to open portals.
Yeah. So then Tom Holland is trying to fix all of these villains before they send them back, hoping that will keep him alive. So as he's doing this, William Dafoe's Green Goblin changes. Well, from Norman Osborn, he changes back into Green Goblin, and just spoils the show. And then some of them escape, or all of them escape. And Aunt May dies as a result of
his decision. To
and so Peter's on the run, and Ned and MJ are trying to find Peter, so they're using the portals, and they open up a portal and they see a Spider-Man, so they figure it's him. Lo and behold, it's Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. They open up another portal and it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that comes through. So
great moments,
fantastic, one of the best moments of the film.
Great moments.
So then they figuring out that there's all these different Spider-Men from different universes, the same universes as some of these villains. And they go to find Tom Holland, and they find Tom Holland. They'll explain what's gone on. And then they basically try and work together to capture these villains. I'm being very succinct now.
Yep.
So there's a whole big fight that happens, and very emotional cues and whatnot. And basically they manage to defeat the villains. Some of the villains actually fight on their side. So Doc Ock fights on Peter's side. Is it Sandman as well, I think?
Yeah.
Sandman fights on Peter's side. So they manage to capture the villains and cure them and send them back. But the multiverse is now, people from the multiverse are all coming through, and Doctor Strange can't stop it. So the only way to stop it is for Tom Holland to make Doctor Strange make a spell that makes everyone forget that he is Spider-Man. And Doctor Strange tells him the consequences of this, and he says he doesn't care, he wants it done. So he does it. It halts the multiverse. People, all these different people coming into the multiverse. And then, the day is saved, basically. But as a consequence, obviously, he says nobody knows Peter. And he says his goodbyes to MJ and Ned before he goes, and to the other two Spider-Man before they go. So as a consequence, he's going about his daily life. He promised MJ and Ned that he will find them, but he sees that they're happy in their life, and he kind of decides he's not going to really
go there.
Yeah.
Yet.
And
Yeah,
of course.
You can tell it was an opening for in the sequel.
Yes.
I know everything about you. I know you like to wear green knickers on the Tuesday. you know what he's gonna do.
Basically.
Yeah.
And then the end credit scene has Tom Holland in this universe. Not Tom Holland, sorry, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, with Venom.
On some beach hut resort.
in Mexico, I think.
Mexico,
talking to some Mexican bartender, and basically the bartenders explain to him about the workings of this universe, and he's talking about purple alien like stones. No, aliens don't like stones. They're like brains and all this stuff. That was a really good moment as well. And then he disappears. So I want to speak about that.
Okay.
Actually, can I speak about
it?
Because that's what's happening in the film, basically.
Yeah.
So that I got really excited because I thought that Tom Holland's in the MCU, but then I realized
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, Venom.
Too many Toms, damn it.
I know. Then I realized actually it means he's come out of that universe again, because if you remember, he disappeared the same way Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and all the other villains disappeared. He disappeared the same way.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's in the MCU anymore. It was just a touch. Do you know what I mean? But I could be mistaken, because if you remember, a little bit of Venom
is left
on the
counter.
So who knows where they're going with this?
Like, that's what they're doing is that's not Tom Hardy's Venom is going to be MCU verse. They're going to keep that as a separate Venom,
right?
And they're going to create a different Venom.
So
they can keep the two different versions of it going.
Yeah.
One could be.
But that's going to get very confusing now, man.
Will.
Since one has been in the other film anyway. Please, he stays in the MCU. I really do. But that's I got very excited. I didn't think about what that actually meant until just now. Now I'm just discussing with you guys kind of agree.
And that's your way of saying that Wesley's coming back as Blade and it's in the house at the same time. I'm happy to take that.
I think we'd all love to see that. Yeah. I think we'd all love to see that. So that scene got me a little bit, but
we had a great time with it.
We had a fantastic time.
So what's your rating out of 10?
Wow. 9.5. That's how much I enjoyed this film. A 9.5 out of 10. You can never give a perfect score 10 out of 10. Personally, I don't think anyway. But
Ashley, Damien?
Well, Rock Leon, I am going to have to give this probably a 9. I'll go for a 9. Yeah, I'll go for a 9 out of 10. I need to watch it again to find out if it goes to a 10 for me, but because one, where we were sat, we were like this for the entire movie.
Yeah.
So certain
my
parts
fault, my bad.
It happens. But certain parts of it visually, like,
but he did pay, so I'm happy.
So we're not saying
it was even better when it's free.
But yes, I need to sit back and see it again just to take in some of the action sequences, because there is a lot that happens in this movie.
Yeah,
like, good fight scenes as well.
The fight choreography for this movie, like something we harp on about with the raid and stuff like that. It's not choppy, and it's something that they kind of took out after Captain America 2 Winter Soldier. They started to kind of open up a little bit more, and they let the fight scenes play out so much so that the stunt double for William Dafoe, because it's clear that William Dafoe is not.
He's a million years old.
It's a great stunt double because you can't tell when they change it that well. And I was wanting to kind of sit back and watch it again. But he has a great fight sequence with Peter Parker. There's a lot of
fight sequences.
Two stuff, but there's so much weight that you feel the punches of it. And
especially the end one.
Yeah, but the thing is like crap. But Tom Holland, there's footage of him being on a bag's one thing to hit someone in a fight, but he knows the technique of throwing a punch. And he's
been in the gym.
Yeah. In the gym. Yeah.
Very nice physique.
Very good physique. The best physique he's had since playing Spider-Man. Yeah. I have to say, very. He's up. He's.
I don't think broccoli. Real chicken and broccoli.
I don't think he's on the size.
He's my size. He's not. On
he's not a massive guy. Do you know what I mean?
But he's kept.
He's in good shape. Like, well done. Listen, I think he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I love his attitude. And as you said as well, with regards to the fighting, he's a gymnast. Everyone forgets that. In fact, that's probably the strength of how he got the role.
He did a backflip, didn't he?
They said get on the mark, and he says, "Oh, do you mind if I do a flip?" And okay. And he did a flip literally on the mark, and okay, you've got the role.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean?
And even the movement was really good. When I say, obviously there's going to be CGI and bits and but everything was. it moved properly. Not like the original, like Matrix 2 and, you know, like when it was all like...
The stunt work on the bridge with Doc Ock is brilliant. Like, even the moments where he runs up the car, is coming off the bridge and then flips and carries it over. You can't... It's really hard to tell where the CGI and the stunt work... That's seamless. That's very seamless. Because the mechanics are there, as you said. Like, when you go back and you watch... We're going to watch Matrix Resurrections, or was it Resurrections, whatever it's called, in a week's time. But when you watch Matrix Reloaded, there's parts where, you know where Keanu Reeves changes body shape and size, and like the Mr. Smiths become computer animated. It was very hard to see. I mean, obviously, you knew what wasn't humanly possible, but because of how much Marvel put into it and the effects warehouse they used, it was very hard to see where the effect was and what it was. It was very seamless.
Very seamless, They did a fantastic job on this film. Anyway, why am I even speaking? My friend, what score do you give it?
9.
9. Yeah.
Strong 9.
Yeah.
Was it your favourite Spider-Man?
Yeah.
So
far. So far. You know what I mean? So far.
Yeah, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And as these two know, I'm going to go watch it another 3-4 times.
Probably you will.
Well, I think we should all go and watch it another time at least. Yeah. What do you think?
No.
On me.
No, I can't keep taking your money to go to Spider-Man.
Okay. Well, you know.
The next film that comes out.
I think for me, going back to what, if it was the best one, like Spider-Man 2, I think it was the same for you, Leon, as well. Spider-Man 2 is always my favourite.
With Doc Ock.
And the reason why I think this surpasses is because they took the emotional beats from Spider-Man 2 and injected it into this movie. Because like, as you said before, Alfred Molina gets to have these moments in this movie where he goes through practically the same dilemma he has in Spider-Man 2 in this movie, and you get to see the change. And that's what I love about Spider-Man 2, and you have that in this one. Like, every single thing you loved about the Maguire Spider-Mans, the bits that worked about the Garfield Spider-Mans, they use that in this tenfold, and it's done so well. So tops off to the director for the Jim Watts, what's his name?
John Watts.
Tops off to John Watts.
Actually, you see, I just realised John Watts is also going to be the director of Fantastic Four.
Is he?
Yeah.
Interesting. So he can definitely do multiple characters.
Yeah. So I could be right in my theory. But I listen. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I think it was fantastic what they've done. The amount of money they've put into this film is justified because the end product is just fantastic. The hype is more than justified.
It lives up to it.
It proper lives up to the hype. This is for fan. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I think this would definitely challenge. Okay, not Endgame. But Infinity War,
Infinity War, definitely.
Yes, 100%.
The pace of it, the moments of levity.
The pacing was
it
fantastic.
Starts off at a pace, and it just, it very, very rarely lets up.
It doesn't. For me, it didn't. There was not one bit that I thought this is dragging. It went at a very nice clip.
It was all needed.
Yes.
And you know, even the slower bits.
The slower bits as well.
It was needed.
It was needed.
It was needed.
There's some great little throwaways to the original films as well. Like the bit where they talk about the webs. He's like,
that came out of you?
Yeah. And listen to the
they were really grossed out, isn't it?
Does it come out of anywhere else?
It was fantastic. It was fantastic, man. Seeing all the old, especially like you said, Tom Maguire.
That was just
who's aged a bit, but still,
he's aged,
but he still looks good for his age, you know.
But that's what I loved about the fact, because they showed him age. They didn't try and make him look young.
And
it gives you the idea of time and how long he's been away. And I thought that you felt that so much when he appears.
20 years.
20 years.
Like he was just a boy. Like he was our age. He's our age.
And that's the thing with the Shield as well. He is like the older brother. Talking to his younger brother. Don't make the mistakes I did. Because he has that look of an older brother looking at his younger brother. You know, and it works so well. And Andrew Garfield is like the one in the middle, like, hey,
But this is exactly why I said that, and you see it perfectly in this film. The different things that Tom Holland took from that one, and combined it into his one, and obviously put a bit of himself into it. But you can see it. You can.
He had them to work off.
If
he was first,
he
may not be.
He may not.
But he's had two great Spider-Men
100%.
To take from.
And he's taken like the best bits of this one, the best bits of that one,
and a bit of his own.
Bit of his own, and Bob's your uncle. So
And J.K. Simmons, got to mention.
Oh,
wicked as usual.
Yeah, J.K.
Spider-Man.
Simmons,
Awesome, well done.
Listen,
Hats
that,
off.
Always.
you can always bank on that guy to give a fantastic performance, no matter what. Even if the film is crap, he will give a fantastic performance.
And then probably he just sat in the studio the whole time. By himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the way it was filmed.
Because the way it was filmed.
He has that one moment where he's outside the police.
He could have been doing it on Zoom most of it. And then just that one bit. We need you for one day. Just over here.
Yeah? Step out of the car, get back in.
There's your $2 million, bye.
Yeah. I mean, for me though, even though yes, he's getting paid a substantial amount of money to do it, I kind of feel like with him, he is very passionate about Spider-Man. Yeah. Otherwise, he wouldn't come back. No. Would you? I mean, he's making money. He's making serious money.
As Alfred Molina said, like, there's a reason back is the money, but whether it is or not, but they like the script. But I think Simmons has definitely got passion for it.
Yeah, I think he enjoys being in the Spider-Man
if you've
franchise.
made a character as well,
you wanted to do it again.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Because how many
you are the
and
character.
You're right. Because how many people scream for him to come back?
Yeah,
fan service that brought him back literally for the Mysterio one, the one before this one, because everyone went to see him back as Joel Jenner Jameson. So
even when you hear his voice, you hear his voice in Venom, don't you? On the newscast at the end.
Yes.
When you hear it, you're like,
Yeah.
Like so much better than you playing Commissioner Gordon in the Batman University and all. But, it was great to see JJ back. So well done, Mr. Simmons.
Yeah. So I think from all of us, we think fantastic film. Marvel, done yourself.
If you ain't seen it, go and see it.
Yeah,
please. If you have, go and see it again.
Go and see it again.
Let us know what you think. Put a comment down below.
Yeah.
Do you agree with us? Do you think it wasn't as good? Let us know.
Exactly. And let us know if you're going to go watch it again. You know what I mean?
He'll take you.
Hell no.
Boomski.
Yeah, man. But from us, I guess that's a wrap. So,
Listen,
take care, guys, and let us know what you think in the comments down below.